Hey YouTube, what is going on? It's your boy Neon Black coming at you with a brand new deck profile of what I like to call Dinosworn, mixed between dinosaurs and Lightsworn monsters. This deck is very fast paced, and I do have to say that you have to be very careful when using this deck, that you could quite literally blow through your entire deck your first turn. So you really got to be careful for that. So play smart with this deck, and let's just go ahead and dive on into it. Alright, so first off, we are going to be running 3 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Pretty standard with this kind of deck. His effect is pretty broken. Destroy 1 monster in your hand or field, and if you do, change all face-up monsters your opponent controls to face-down defense position, and this card can basically attack every single card, and it sends them to the graveyard for every card sent. Their opponent takes 1,000, so it's pretty broken. That's why you run 3 of them. Plus, you got cards like Double Evolution Pill that can get this card out really fast, really easily. So, 3 Ultimate Conductor Tyrannos. Next, I run 3 Soul Eating Oviraptor, also pretty standard. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can take 1 dinosaur type monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Pretty easy. You can get your Ultimate Conductor out that way, or other cards as well. So 3 Soul Eating Oviraptor. Now we're going to run 2 Overtex. This card is also a really good card. He basically allows you to shuffle all of your banished dinosaur monsters back into your deck in order to special summon himself from the graveyard. It's pretty good with his, and then you never really actually run out of material that you can use for this guy, especially since you run Fairy Tale Snow, which it allows you to really get this guy out pretty quickly. So run two of him, and then I run 1 Giant Rex, because when he's banished, he special summons himself. 1 Miscellaneousaurus, because he basically protects all of your dinosaur monsters. 1 Babysaurus, because he basically allows you to special summon almost any of these guys out when he's destroyed. And then also the 1 Kaiju, 1 Dino Kaiju as well, just because he's a dinosaur type monster and he's got a 3k beat stick, and he basically he's just one of the necessities of the deck. So I run 1 of him as well. And that's pretty much all that I run for dinosaurs. Now let's go into our Lightsworn. I only run 1 Judgment Dragon, and the big reason why is because he is actually really easy to get into your hand. If you want to run 2 of him, you can. I wouldn't run any more than that, but I run 1 of him, and the big reason why is because if he's in your starting hand, that's really good, but for the most part, you can just special summon him, and you're not even going to be using his secondary effect, because if you do, you're going to destroy everything else you have on your field, because 9 times out of 10 what happens with me, I draw him, special summon him, and I already have 4 or 5 other monsters out on the field, so if I activate his effect, I lose all those monsters, and I'm not going to OTK my opponent. So I only run 1 Judgment. Then I run 3 Raiden. Also really good card to have is Raiden, because his effect is to just mill 2 cards to the graveyard, and so when that's really what we want is our cards to be in the graveyard so we can get our Judgment Dragon out. So 3 Raiden. I also run 3 Lumina. She is also another card that is something that you really definitely need in this deck, because you discard a card, a Lightsworn card like Wolf, that you don't want in your hand, and then you can special summon out Raiden, and then you can synchro for 7. So that's also really good. Then I run 2 Wolf and 1 Felis. These are really good cards to have on the field. Wolf, because he's a 20, he's got 2,100 attack, and he's level 4. and then Fearless because you can tribute her to destroy a card on the field. These are really good cards to have, but the only problem is they can only be special summoned if they are sent from deck to graveyard. So you can't normal or special summon them from your hand. So that's why I only run 2 and 1. You can run 3 of Wolf, but I wouldn't run any more than 1 of Fearless. So, and that's pretty much all that I have for Lightsworn monsters. Now let's get into some of our extras here. I'm going to be running 3 Fairy Tale Snow. This card is one card that I probably use the most out of this entire deck, and the big reason why is because you banish 7 cards, you can special summon her, turn one of your opponent's cards face down defense position, what you really need to do is banish your Dinosworn monster, so then you can get Overtex out, and then you can do a lot more plays just with this card. And there's even times where I get really desperate and I have all 3 of these in my graveyard, and I'll actually end up banishing 2 of my Fairy Tale Snows just to get one of them out, because then I'll use her for an XYZ and then discard her to send her back into the graveyard, and then banish 7 more to send her back out. So, because it's not a once per turn effect, which is really nice. And then I run the 1 Goblinberg. Pretty standard with this kind of deck that runs level 4s. You normal summon him, then you can special summon another level 4 or lower monster from your hand. So pretty stationary for that. 1 Eclipse Wyvern. When this card is sent from deck to graveyard, you can banish a level 7 or higher monster, and then when this card is banished, add that card back to your hand. So that's where you can target your Judgment Dragon, banish your Judgment, use Snow to banish Wyvern, and to get your Judgment Dragon, special summon your Judgment Dragon out, and basically nuke the board. So 1 Eclipse Wyvern. I also run 1 Crimson Fox, Lunalight Crimson Fox. Not very many people run this card, but I like to run this card because 95% of the time I'll end up milling this card to the graveyard, and she has a really good effect that says target 1 card my opponent controls, and its attack becomes 0. So that really helps a lot. So I run 1 of her. And then also for our last monster lineup, I run 1 Destrudo. This card is really great to have because you can just use him for extra plays. He's got a lot of cost though, because you have to pay half your life points, and if it's your first turn, you take 4k, which is a lot, but if you know that you're going to OTK your opponent, I really think that it's worth it. So I used to run 2 of him, but I only use his effect maybe once, probably every game. So I put him down to 1. So now off to our spell cards. I run the 2 double evolution pills. People tell me I should run 3, but I just feel like 3 is kind of an overkill with this. So I only run 2 double evolution. This gets your overwrap. This gets your ultimate conductor out a lot faster and a lot easier. So 2 of those. I also run 2 fossil digs. This gets my Kaiju, my Overraptor, and also my ultimate conductor out as well. So into my hand, not onto the field, into my hand, which can essentially help get them out onto the field. And that's pretty much it for dinosaur support. Now off to our other support. We got Soul Charge. I run 2 Soul Charge. Great card. This is your draw power for the deck. So I run 2 of those. Also 3 Charge of the Light Brigade. Also a little bit of draw power, but not much. It just adds a level 4 lower Lightsworn monster from deck to hand, which is good, especially if you don't have any useful Lightsworn cards in your hand. You can get out Raiden and then mill 2. So that's also good. So 2 and 3 for that. And that's pretty much it for that. Now off to just regular spells. We got Monster Gate, which is a really nice card to have. Tribute 1 monster, reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a monster that could be normal or normal summoned or special, and then you can special summon it. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied today. If it can be normal summoned, then you can special summon it, which this is a great card to have, especially if all you do is a Raiden, mill 2, you can't play anymore, then you can do Monster Gate, and hopefully get a Lumina or something out into the field. Then the pretty standard for almost any deck out there. You do your Monster Reborn, Soul Charge, and your Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is great to have because you can send either Fearless or Wolf, and then they'll special summon themselves. So Soul Charge is a little tricky to have. The reason why I play this card is because this is for your second turn, not your first turn. You go in your first turn, and you pretty much mill most of your deck. You don't want to special summon your cards back out until your next turn in case you don't defeat your opponent. So, and then lastly, I run one Hatronade. This gets out all of my opponent's spell and trap cards, and mine as well, but it's not really much of a hurt if you have any, which I don't even run trap cards, but even if I did run trap cards, it's nice to play this card. Oh no, now I have a trap card that goes back into my hand and I can reset it. So, alright, so now let's go into our extra deck here. I pretty much run almost one of everything. I run one Michael, one Black Rose Dragon, also Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. These guys nuke the board pretty well. One Clear Wing Synchron Dragon, one Framelord Omega, Stardust, and a Trishula. Trishula, though, is really hard to get out into the field for me, but if you can, it's a really great card to have out in the field. This is all of the synchro monsters that we have. Okay, so now off to our XYZ monsters. I run number 41. Also, Dark Rebellion, XYZ. So many people hate me for running this card, but really, it's a great card to run. I highly recommend it. And then last, 2, Minerva. This card, you could easily bring 2 of her out your first turn, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just bring 1 of her out. Okay, so 2 Minerva. And then also, now 1 Curious. A lot of people like to just run 1, so that's what I used to run 2, but I don't really need her very much. So just run 1, 1 Underclock Taker, 1 Nightmare Phoenix. This card I'm still testing out, and then last but not least, the big guy, 1 Borreload Dragon. This is the only expensive card that I really have in this deck. This is a really budget-friendly deck. Aside from Borreload, the only reason why I'm putting Borreload in this deck is because I actually pulled this card in but I got really lucky with that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile. If you did, give that like button a thumbs up. And I would love to hear you guys' support, love to hear you guys' thoughts. I would like to see what else you guys like to run, what you don't run in this deck. Let me know in the comment section down below. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great night and an even better week.